So it just seems like some of you just cannot shake my old name, Mr. Cheap Sense. Y'all love that guy so much. I guess I have to go ahead and do a spring cheapie list. So stay tuned. Here it is. Glad you all stuck around. So before I get started, for those of you who are brand new to this channel, my name is Keith. This is The Fragrant Life, where we talk about all things fragrance related. If you are not a subscriber to this channel, then make sure you hit that red subscribe button. There's a bell icon that's going to open up. Make sure you hit all so you get all content uploaded by me through this channel. Make sure you like the videos, thumbs up. Make sure you share these videos so other people can get this content also. And make sure you're active in the comment section. And all of that in itself costs you absolutely nothing, free of charge. So let's get into this list. So I know a lot of people are attached to my Mr. Cheap Sense persona when I first came into the game, and I could not sustain that name, being that I was starting to get into more niche and higher end designer and stuff like that. So I had to shake that name a little bit. And I love the name that I have now, even though I know my old name is gonna stick with me forever, and I don't mind that. So with that being said, I just need people to be a little bit more open-minded when it comes to these fragrance videos that I do. Not everything is gonna be a cheapie, so if you don't like niche and higher end designer and stuff like that, then definitely you do not have to watch those videos. Just pick and choose which ones you want to watch. Simple as that. Now let's get into this list. So the first one I'm going to mention is one that I have hardly ever heard anybody mention. They mention fragrances like Tattoo and there's a few other ones, but from the house of Michael Germain, this is DEAUVILLE BLEU Pour On, and the name is faded, but I will put a picture and a brief description of the fragrance up on the screen. But these fragrances, although the bottles look kind of cheesy, the caps are cheap, they don't stay on. It seems like it snaps into place, but it really doesn't. But the juice inside is what matters the most. This one, and I do have the other one, the actual just pour on version, which is a more masculine, more of like a date fragrance. You can wear it to the office. This one is more on the citrus side, which is perfect for spring, more for summer. There are a lot of citrus in this, and I absolutely love this fragrance. And you can see over time, I have put a pretty decent dent in this. You can find these at like TJ Maxx, and most of the time they'll be in like a blue box. It'll say DEAUVILLE whatever on the front of it by Michael Germain. Don't be afraid of fragrances like this. This one I think runs like between, I want to say $9 to maybe $15. Not bad at all. And just that one spray I just did has my room filled with the citrus that's in this. This thing is phenomenal. Give it a try, y'all. Next up, I will admit I was never a huge fan of this particular house, and I have grown more and more to like them the more fragrances I pick up from this house. I have quite a few. This one is ARTISAN ACQUA by John Varvatos, and I'm pretty sure by now a lot of you already know about these fragrances. This is a very nice citrus green based fragrance. Smells fantastic. I don't like the atomizers on these. They do like a light mist, so you have to do a couple of sprays on yourself. This is not a bad fragrance though. I like this one a lot. So if you see this one in a while and it's at a decent price, because I would not pay more than maybe $30 something for one of these, depending on the bottle size. Anything above that I'd probably pass on. But for the most part, perfect for spring and summer. Check it out. Now this house I became quite fond of, and I had like 3 or 4 maybe from this particular line. I got rid of 2 of them. I actually kept this one because this is one of my favorites. I love the note of fig, and this fits the profile. This is Ferrari Noble Fig. And you can see I put a little bit of a dent in this one. I love this scent, man. I just absolutely adore it. Now the fig in this is not very realistic. You will know that this is like an artificial fig note. It does smell a little bit chemically, but it's blended nicely. And I like this fragrance a lot. So I highly recommend this one also. Now, when I say chemically, I don't mean chemically like you smell chemicals. It just smells, let me use another word. Scratch the chemical, almost synthetic. But it's not a bad synthetic. This is very, very nice. Perfect for spring and summer. Like I said in my last video, white tee, white button up, or something bright. Perfect. Ferrari Noble Fig. Keeping the note of fig. This is one, when I first started collecting and doing reviews, I got into this house a little bit. And when I ran across this fragrance, I honestly didn't care for it. And that shows that my nose has matured scent wise. And I started being able to pick out some notes in fragrances. And this one is a note that I ended up liking. I had this bottle before, I got rid of it. And I just recently got it back not too long ago. This is from the house of Salvatore Ferragamo. This is Ferragamo Pour Homme. And this has a very nice note of fig in it also. Atomizer is much better. The fig in this one seems a lot brighter than the Ferrari Noble Fig. This one, it would be in a toss-up. Noble Fig is a smoother kind of fig note. This one is more on the, I don't want to say harsh, but it's a little bit louder. But this one is more brighter and more exuberant. Like this one is one that you spray on and it's going to wake you up. It's going to get you up. The other one is kind of mellow, smooth. So depends on what kind of mood you're in, depending on what fragrance you want to reach for. But this one is not bad. Salvatore Ferragamo Pour Homme. This next one is a little bit more on the sweeter side. I think this has a watermelon note in it. But I do like it. I kept hearing people mention this fragrance when I first started. And not many people mention this one at all anymore. From the house of Carolina Herrera, Chic for Men. And I love this fragrance. I just wish it was a little bit stronger than what it is. This is a light fragrance. Perfect for the office. I would definitely wear something like this on a date. I definitely would. It smells kind of sexy at the same time. A little bit bright. It's nothing harsh. I like it. Very inexpensive. I think you can pick this one up for maybe 15, 20 bucks online, which is where I think I ordered it from, Fragrance X. And you can see I put a little bit of a dent in it. So there are fragrances in my collection that I have worn a lot of in the past. And I know people like to somewhat throw shade on people when they show bottles that are full. I don't wear the same fragrances over and over and over. And this is just me. I know people have certain fragrances that they reach for more than others. Nothing wrong with that. But I don't think that I want to wear the same fragrance over and over and over and get people's noses trained to know that, oh, I know when Keith walks in the door, he's going to have on Salvatore Ferragamo today. No, I want to change it up. I want to make this interesting for people and for me. So with that being said, check this one out. Chic for Men, Carolina Herrera. This one I also got on a recommendation. I'm not totally sure who talked about this. Was it Max Forte or it was some big tier, top tier reviewer that mentioned this fragrance before, and they talked about it, and they had me kind of intrigued by it, and I ordered it. And when it came in, I definitely wasn't disappointed. This is from Rojas. This is Eau de Rojas Homme. And this citrus fragrance is a lot heavier than most of the other citrus in some of these other fragrances. This may not be for everybody. You have to like synthetic type fragrances, and that's kind of what this smells like. It smells like it's kind of synthetic, but it is very nice smelling, especially on the dry down. I love this fragrance, and as you can tell, I have put a little bit of a dent in this one. I have worn it quite a bit, but it's very inexpensive, and this runs you what, like between 12 to maybe 20 bucks depending on where you get it from. I think I ordered this from Fragrance X also, so give this one a try. Eau de Rojas Homme. This next one was a surprise. I saw this one in Burlington a few months back, and I was kind of interested because this was actually on one of those aisles where they have like a bunch of stuff just laid around, and it's like almost a last ditch effort to pick up fragrances or whatever they have over there. This was sitting there, and this was between, I think, like 7 to maybe 12 bucks, and I picked it up. Nice bottle. I believe this is a 100 ml bottle. Yeah, magnetic cap, which is a plus. Heavy, thick bottle, and this is from the Art of Shaving Green Lavender. And this is actually a second bottle that I have. The first bottle that I had, I wore it to my second job when I was still working that job, and I stopped by Advanced Auto to drop off a battery for my truck. And the guy behind the counter, when I walked up, I guess when I walked up, that breeze blew by and hit him in the face, and he was like, "Man, what is that you wearing?" And I told him what it was, how much it cost, where I got it from, and he was like, "Man, my daddy wears expensive, high-end fragrances, and they don't smell the way yours smell." And I actually gave him the bottle right there on the spot. I had it in my truck. I just gave it to him, and I went back. I think it was like maybe that following weekend, and this one was still on that shelf, and I picked this one up. Very nice, fresh, green, kind of citrus fragrance. Has a bit of lavender, so it is a little calming. I usually try to wear this at night after I get out the shower. It kind of helps me relax a little bit. But this is a very nice fragrance. If you see this one in Burlington and it's just sitting on the shelf, it's in a box, it's not in a case, just open it up and smell it. Spray it and smell it. That's probably not the best thing to do in a lot of cases, I understand, but you probably won't be able to get a decant of this from anywhere unless you get it from somebody else. But just spray it and smell it, and if you don't like it, leave it. But I love this scent, and I'm glad I picked it up. From the Art of Shaving, once again, this is Green Lavender. Next up, this one really needs no introduction. You already know what this is a clone of, and I didn't want to put the original in here. I'm trying to do a cheapie list here. This one is from the House of Cremo. This is Bergamot and Musk. And you already know what this is supposed to be a clone of. Creed Aventus. And it's not a bad attempt at making a Creed Aventus type fragrance. As you can see, I have given this some wearing. I didn't care for it at first, but as time went on, it kind of grew on me, and I didn't have Creed Aventus at the time. I think I had like maybe a couple of decants of some different stuff. I do have Club de Nuit Intense Man, and I had Insurrection Pure 2 and I sold it, but this one is not bad. Very versatile type fragrance, can be worn anytime, day or night. Perfect for spring and summer. So if you can find this one still in the wild, pick it up. If not, I'm pretty sure you may be able to still order it from the Cremo website, but once again, Cremo, Bergamot, and Musk. We're getting to the meat and potatoes now. The House of Issey Miyake. There are people who don't really care for the House of Issey Miyake. A lot of their fragrances don't perform unless you get some of their higher end, higher quality type fragrances. And I actually had the one in the blue bottle like this, and I didn't care for it, so I got rid of it. And I wish I would have kept it. I may be able to find another one, who knows? But as of right now, I'm gonna go with this one. This is Low Blue d'Issey Eau Fresh. And as you can see, I have put a little bit of a dent in this one also. Not a bad fragrance. It is blue, citrusy, fresh, clean smelling, perfect for spring, also summer, but not a bad fragrance. I know sometimes you can find these at like TJ Maxx, Marshalls, places like that. Do not overpay when you see these fragrances. You probably can find them for a cheaper price than the $30, $40 something mark that you find these, maybe $50. If you can get it somewhere around that $20, $25, maybe around the $30 mark, depending on the bottle size, definitely pick it up. But anything higher than that, don't do it to yourself. But Low Blue d'Issey Eau Fresh. Staying in the same house, this is another one, and I love this fragrance. This one smells of much more higher quality than the last. This is L'Eau d'Issey Pour Homme Eau de Toilette Fresh. And this one is very clean. It is fresh. Oh man, this smells so sophisticated to me. I'm just blown away by this fragrance. That's why I don't have much to say. I love this fragrance, man. You can see I put a little bit of a dent in this one, and I can't wait to start wearing this one again coming up this spring. So with that being said, L'Eau d'Issey Pour Homme Eau de Toilette Fresh. Last two. What's a spring and summer list if you don't have at least one of these two fragrances, if not both of them on this list? The first one I'm going to go with, you can quote unquote call this the king of spring and summer. This is a staple in a lot of people's collections, whether it's been reformulated or not. I don't know. I haven't had the original, so I couldn't tell you. I know this is a plastic cap. I think it used to come with a metal cap, but this is Nautica Voyage. And you cannot go wrong with this fragrance. Oh, it's aquatic, fruity, fresh. This is nice. I don't know what else to say, man. I mean, this fragrance gets a lot of hate from most people, mostly because of the performance. But I mean, you can't really complain when you're getting something for $15, maybe $20, and all you have to do is decant some out or take the bottle with you. I mean, if you're going to the gym, why not just throw it in your gym bag? If you're going on an outing, why not just throw it in your car, and whenever you get a second, refresh? I mean, it's not that hard, man. But some people just want to be able to spray something on and just go for 48 to 76 hours without having to reapply, and most times that's not realistic. But can't have a spring list for top 10 list for spring and summer without having Nautica Voyage on it somewhere. And the fragrance at the top of my list that I have to call the king of spring in this particular list. You cannot have a list like this without having Calvin Klein CK1. And I will admit, I am not a huge fan of any of his freshies like this. CK1, B, All Free, any of those fragrances. I've had them all, and I didn't care for any of them. But this one I had to go back to. I did have a small bottle of this and I got rid of it. I sold it or gave it away or whatever. And then I ended up finding this big 200 ml bottle, and I've worn it maybe once or twice. And it actually has grown on me. It's fresh, it's clean, it's floral, perfect for spring and summer. Very versatile fragrance. Versatile, not meaning you can wear it in the fall and winter, in which you can. It just may not perform at its best, but you can wear it in those situations. But I mean versatile as far as like going out on a date, dinner, like picnic, outdoorsy type stuff. Perfect for that. So that's my list, y'all. Hopefully you all enjoyed this type of list. I know some people are kind of torn when it comes to the more niche and higher end type list because you feel like you can't afford those type fragrances. I was in that same ballpark. If you go back and look at my older videos, I used to talk a lot of trash about niche fragrances and how overpriced they were. But then you have to learn to be patient. You have to pick and choose your battles and find fragrances when they're on sale or discounted heavily. Somebody may be just wanting to get rid of something because they don't want it. They're trying to downsize. Throw some numbers at them. You never know. They might stick. So don't just completely disregard a high-end fragrance list or a high-end fragrance period. You know, I didn't think I could afford a lot of these, and look at my collection now. I mean, I'm just saying. Cheapies are still a big staple in my collection, as you can see from some of the ones I have here. But, you know, with that being said, I'm out of here, y'all. So here is definitely to smelling great. Peace, y'all.